So I'm Mike, I'm with Rezzed, and today I'm joined by the community manager of Alien Isolation, Nee.
Hi. Hi everyone, nice to meet you.
So Nee, how are you finding today, Rezzed?
So today is our first public appearance for the game, and it's been really, really exciting. Seeing some fantastic reactions, people coming out clutching their hearts, some people looking very disorientated and sort of like slightly confused and terrified, and that's the reaction we want. So I think we're doing very well at the moment.
Good. I mean, we've just managed to get in ourselves. We had a quick play of the game.
And you enjoyed it?
Yes, we did enjoy it. It was it's a different beast from the last game. To be honest, it's a lot more atmospheric. It's not guns out, go kill people. It is literally try and survive, and it is something completely different. The level that we played was a fairly small level where you're kind of like locked in with the alien itself. I'm guessing there's quite a lot of universe within the aliens universe to explore.
So obviously the game is set on Sevastopol, which is a trading station that's been decommissioned. That's where Amanda and her crew go to find the black box for the Nostromo. And obviously it's a massive habitation area. It was originally meant to house 400 to 600 people. So you've got to bear that in mind, that obviously the area you've just played is just a small section of that.
Yeah, okay. Now you mentioned Amanda there. Amanda is Ripley's daughter, I believe.
Yeah.
So how's that worked into the story then?
So Amanda was mentioned in the director's cut, Ridley Scott's director's cut, and it was a case of 3 years ago our studio sat down and went, actually no one's ever explored the story of Amanda. You know, if you were Amanda, wouldn't you want to know what happened to your mum? So we took that story to SEGA and to Fox and said we want to look at this and we want to explore it and we want to see we want to create a game that happens 15 years later. Amanda's all grown up and she wants to know what's happened to her mum. And Weyland-Yutani representatives come to her and say, the black box has been discovered, do you want to come with us and find out what happened to Ellen? And obviously she takes that opportunity, and that's how she ends up on Sevastopol. Okay.
Now a rather large part of the game is the motion tracker. It's used a lot more in this. It is literally your lifeline. If you hear any kind of vibrations, you get that motion tracker up and you find out where it's coming from. Now, as I said, that's a really large part of the game. Does it continue to be a large part of the game throughout the whole game?
So throughout the game, certainly as the game develops, you will acquire items and objects that you can use and that you can craft to help your survival. The motion tracker is a key element of that. Obviously, there's lots of different levels where you're going to have to be reliant on knowing what's around you and the environment that you're in. The thing with the alien is he is everywhere and he could be anywhere, so you really need to have that in the back of your mind, and having that motion tracker is my best friend, as well as the dark corner. I'm like this, and so obviously there's a trade-off. When you hold up the motion tracker, the background becomes slightly blurred, but I think it's kind of a good trade-off to know just before you dive you can escape that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, as you just mentioned there, you get the slight blur on the screen when you bring up the motion tracker, and it is a bit of a trade-off. You've got other things you can do. I myself was hiding in a locker at one point. Didn't do much. The alien managed to find out exactly where I was, just opened the locker and killed me. But in that whole time whilst you're in there, you're worried that the alien, it's there. You can hear your motion tracker going off. You can hear it making its way towards you. And as I was saying, it is a massive part. The atmosphere of the game is a massive part. Now, again, touching on the last game briefly, it was more kind of go gung-ho, get loads of kills and aliens. There was a lot more aliens rather than just the one in this one. How are you finding people are reacting to the fact that it's just the one alien in this rather than the multiple amounts? So
our game is very, very heavily inspired by Alien, which is Ridley Scott's, not Aliens, which is Cameron's, and obviously Alien Colonial Marines was very heavily based on Aliens. So with us being focused on Alien, we've gone back to that route of that one individual singular threat. Yeah, there's lots of other stuff happening, but he's the main focus, and he's certainly the main fear that you should be feeling. And for all hardcore Alien fans, I think it's nice for them to have this creature that they can now be absolutely shit terrified of. But he's scary. He's the biggest alien that we've ever had, I think, in game history. I think he's 3 meters tall, which is sort of like 9 foot. So he's enormous, and you really feel his presence. And when you encounter him the first time, knowing that he is out there, is frightening, and that's very true of the film. If you look back at the film and how much impact he had, technically the alien in the film only had a couple of minutes of screen time when you put it all together, but the fear of him is constantly always there, and that's what we're really trying to nail.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. So that's Nerf today, Alien Isolation. The game does look fantastic. It's definitely worth a look. Keep in touch, and we'll let you know about when the release date is.
We get to shut the book. Ripley.